I'd like to know what the best polls were. So we have this vast collection of results. And I know that, not all polls are equal. So some would have gone to a lot more effort, would have a lot more expertise. Basically, some would be more accurate than others. So, since of course everyone would like to know which polls are better, and since we do have a track record, so you can look at how well the predictions, the poll results from various people have done, you can grade them. So that's what I want to look at today. So, again, you can just go into Google and find it yourself. I mean, that's all I did. I don't have any, special access to things that you don't. Here, it looks at polls in general, how well they've been doing, blah, blah, blah. Here you are. So you can see how the most prolific pollsters have performed since 2014. Lower numbers are better. It says that here, negative scores are good, and means that the pollsters perform better than other polling firms under similar conditions. I'd mentioned, unfortunately, that I thought Quinnipiac or that they weren't that good. Maybe it was some other Quinny thing that I'd come across, but basically they are one of the very good ones. I had randomly just said, for example, Monmouth could be good, but they are actually the best. So Fox News is very good. Here, and the links are in the video or in the description below the video, so you can check this out yourself. It grades them. I think I might have clicked on grade so that it ordered it on that parameter, since you can click on each of them. So we can see that Monmouth is actually the top ranked. ABC News, Washington Post is very good, as are all these. So basically, once we have this list, then we can interpret what these are saying. We can kind of go, okay, so I now have my list. So this I will have faith in. And this has Clinton 9 ahead, though it is just looking at New Hampshire. I'm more interested in the bellwethers and the general elections. How well does Ipsos and YouGov do? I'll just look over here. Ipsos and YouGov, they don't seem to be near the top. There's Ipsos, A-, but still A, so they're good. Los Angeles Times is actually A-. It doesn't say the tracker poll, but I don't see why the Los Angeles Times would suddenly, mess around and just try something which is rubbish. So what was I looking at? Ipsos, that's pretty good. And Reuters, I'll check again. Yeah, Reuters were using Ipsos, so they're pretty good. I'll say give them a B. I know they said A minus, but they're not absolutely the top like Monmouth. I just want to know how are YouGov? So since you have the link, you can check this out yourself. But I just for completeness, I'll do it here. I'd guess YouGov should be good. Oh, it's a B. So, okay, but not a top poll. Okay. So these ones I can have faith in. Trump's in the lead and tie. Would I cut off the YouGov results? I mean, it's not as if they were bad. So, I don't know. It depends on how you want to use them. How's this one? The Marquette? I think that was very good as well. Monmouth or Monmouth, I don't know. Marquette, there. Marquette, A. So again, pretty good. Oh, very good even, not being first doesn't mean you're not very good. So this in a way is our cheat sheet. Actually, say I've been doing some stuff on machine learning, meta learning, and there, if you do have multiple sources, a very good way, a way that works very well is that if you just average them, and you can end up with something better than each individual component. So even though we might have various polls which are not A+, if you average them, you can end up with something better. So remember, in one of the articles I was looking at, there it was quite recently, they're basically realclearpolitics, these guys, by just averaging the polls, had performed really well the last time, like 2012, and pretty well the year before. So you can just by the fact that at the end of the day we are averaging them in this site, and that does lead to excellent results. Is there anything else? Well, I had this is just more looking at the problems pollsters have been having, that a lot of people now don't have landlines. Some of the so they had problems with younger voters. Loads of people are now not taking part in surveys. So, when pollsters are trying to get a sense of what's going on, they're finding it harder to actually get people to answer the phone. And so they don't really have as clear a picture of what's happening. So here, in 2012, some of the polls were flawed because they undercounted young people of colour who were most likely to use cell phones rather than landlines. I would have thought that was not one particular group. Here, I'd say more and more people don't, like in Ireland, more and more people just use cell phones. So I don't know whether that's specific, but that's what they found out. So that's also in the description below the video if you want to look up this kind of stuff. But the two main things were Firstly, having this, a list of the various polling groups and what their track record is, so how well they've tended to do, which means that we can now kind of go, okay, I'll have more faith, I'll pay more attention to these guys because they are the best. And a little apology to Quinnipiac, because I thought that they were a kind of suspect group, while in fact they're actually a pretty good one. I mean, a good one. So that's all on this league table. Thanks.